We are so happy to have this gentleman who is with us regularly, Corey Perlman, social media keynote speaker. He's owner of Impact Social Media Incorporated, CoreyPerlman.com, PERLMAN.com, and ImpactSocialMedia.com. Corey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm great. Good to see you both. Welcome, Cassidy.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Um,
to meet you.
I was watching the news this morning, and uh, England's prime minister was talking about they want to eliminate social media availability for kids. I think it's 16 years and under. I mean, the freak out is going to be heard worldwide. It's going to have more power behind it than a million Hiroshima atomic bombs. But Corey, in theory, I get it. You know, kids become suicidal, they get depressed. You know, it's how come I don't have that? We've discussed it ad nauseum. But putting that into effect, is it fool's gold?
It's certainly going to be tough to accomplish, but we've all, I've got a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son, and, waiting for the platforms to do what's right and make these rules or guardrails
Yeah.
to help our kids. Certainly, we're going to be waiting for a long time. So I'm not sure they're going to be able to do a broad stroke like that, but maybe even just a verifying identity online and giving them certain levels based on age would be a huge advancement in my opinion.
Corey, I think a lot of generations above mine think that we're very connected as a generation because we have our phones, we can text from, wherever, call from wherever. Do you think that it's actually bringing us together? Because I hear a lot of loneliness, sadness. Do you think it's bringing us together, or do you think it's pushing us apart as a generation?
Whew, that's a great question, and really interested in your perspective too, living in that generation. But from what I can see from my children and just my friends' kids and what I've seen online is it's bringing them apart. This mental health is at a worse state than ever before, and I think we can all see the disconnected level of that unfortunate generation. And I think you all, thank goodness, are seeing that and hopefully are fighting back on that and getting together more than ever before. And I heard what you were saying earlier about the doom scrolling and such, but you all are aware of it. And I think that you're doing a good job of at least being aware of it and trying to fight back from it.
Corey Perlman, owner of Impact Social Media Incorporated, social media keynote speaker. Corey, let's talk about LinkedIn's depth score and then paying attention now to exactly how long you are engaging with. Is it with the platform itself or is it individual posts?
Well, and it kind of goes into the first, topic that we were talking about, where are we going to wait for the platforms to combat AI, or are we going to do some of those things ourselves? And so, what has happened is people are, jumping on AI, and you're hearing about these bots that can do all of it for you, and then you sit back and let them do it. Well, of course, nobody wants that. And the platforms have figured that out. So now they're trying to combat against what they call lazy AI. And so the message I have for your audience today is don't be lazy about it. Use it, but put your perspective behind it, or you will suffer the engagement consequences.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Cassie.
No, it's fine. Talking about LinkedIn, I know you talk a lot about also authenticity online, building a personal brand. I think my generation is struggling right now because a lot of Gen Z feels like feels like getting a job has become less and less about what you know and more about who you know. We build a LinkedIn profiles, we try to do it on our own, not use AI. We do everything right. But I think a lot of us feel like we're throwing our resume into a void, our LinkedIn socials into a void, and kind of just hoping for the best. So on your side, how do we avoid getting kind of lost in the crowd, and how do we stand out in a world of AI, in a world that, everyone's online, everyone has these accounts? How do we present ourselves and actually build that personal brand and not just become another curated version of ourselves?
In my opinion, Cassie, there's certain things that I want to say can't do, but it certainly struggles doing. And one of them is stories. One of them is sharing vulnerabilities and mistakes and your own experiences. So to the extent, I get what you're saying, it's like I can't do that necessarily when I'm just seeing a resume, but to some degree you can, like in the synopsis of it. But give me something that AI couldn't necessarily create. And then of course, the sooner that I can see you and experience you as opposed to read about you, the better. So that would maybe be a video, or of course, getting on a Zoom interview or a real interview and being able to let you ask me questions, share stories and experiences. I think that's where you separate yourselves from people who are letting AI do the job for you.
Corey, I just saw the video of all the Stanford graduates walking out from graduation commencement speech. I think it was the CEO or one of the uppers at Google who was about to give it, and they just en masse, I'm not saying the whole graduating class, but a bunch of them just got up and walked out to protest AI. Kind of a stupid way to do it, but that's the way, that's the hill they want to act and slash die on. The fear, though, of AI and people like Cassidy's age, she just mentioned, going to be in the workforce here in a year or two. I've got to assume that's causing cold shivers to run up these young people's spines.
Yeah, the generational assumption or feeling on AI is very interesting to me. And her generation really has generally, of course, an opposition towards it. And I'm not sure that's a bad thing. And then, of course, you got all kinds of different ones as it gets older. But I think it all just comes back to how you use it. I use commenting on LinkedIn. I shared that with you all as an example, where you can be lazy and let AI just do it for you, and people can sniff that out right in a bat. Instead, what I try to do, just for some perspective, is I tell AI what I want the comment to be about, and I let it help me create a comment that makes sense. So it's my thoughts, and it helps me take it to the finish line. And that's, in my opinion, the way to use AI instead of letting it do everything on its own.
Well, you can. I mean, I think we're quickly becoming very adept at reading something, and the light bulb goes off. Okay, you had
AI.
chat. Yeah, it's AI. And I know that when I send messages to people, I'll throw something in that they know personally about me, that they would kind of go, okay, it is Costa talking to me. It's not some adulterated version of
Correct.
me, because it's again, we're getting smarter, and even people Cassidy's age, how adept they are with technology, they also have the ability to sniff it out and hopefully become better at it. Corey, we got about 30 seconds left. What's the rest of the summer look like for you?
Oh, it's kids sports and all kinds of fun things, and trying to create moments with my kids, because in a moment it's gone. So to that point, put the phone down and spend as much time with them as I possibly can.
Love it. Corey Perlman, social media keynote speaker, owner of Impact Social Media Incorporated. CoreyPerlman.com. ImpactSocialMedia.com.